She's my queen, I show devotion. Where's my life like it's the boat's on? I ain't ready to let go now. I ain't ready to let go. I ain't ready to let go. I ain't ready to let go now. Ready to let go now. Ready to let go now.
I'm Mobi Khawaja, full name Khawaja, but everybody just calls me Mobi. I'm President and CEO of Olympus Labs. What I was when I first started was somebody who was very passionate about fitness, supplements, and growing up in college, I was a history major, so I'd be the type of person who'd read everything, look into everything. So what I found growing up, even at the early age of 15 or 16, because I was very skinny, so told to go over to a local nutrition store. And when I went over, I started learning about supplements. I knew from a very early age that, I was passionate about, overcoming being very skinny in order to, put on weight, become more muscular, and I guess, follow more social trends. I knew through knowledge and, nutrition and working out, it's all a science, right? If you understand it, you can overcome anything. So there became my obsession with starting to use weight gainer supplements, started seeing progress, started learning more as I, went to the store, and I found myself over time actually helping other customers with questions, because I found the people working behind the counters were just like the type of people that were like, just take this or take this or take that, but they wouldn't tell you why to take it. They were more concerned about shuffling inventory and making sure they weren't overstocked. So they'd be recommending the same type of people, 2 different types of product sets. And it wasn't just the salespeople, it was also the industry as a whole was, huge profits, not really caring about the customer, no transparency. And so I knew that I wanted to share my knowledge and passion with other people. In college, I convinced my dad, I was like, I'm helping so many other people at this other store, why don't we just start our own store? And he was skeptical at first, it was like $50,000, and that's a lot of cash for an everyday salary, man. So after a while, I convinced him, and me and my brothers in college opened up our own supplement store, and it was a huge success. But now came the issues of now being in the industry, right? Like supply chain, Europa was a huge thing back then, and we were a franchisee, so our owner was, taking our +1s and +2 products for himself. So we found that even within the industry or outside the industry, there were the same problems. So I knew what I wanted to do once I graduated college was go out and actually learn, Chinese, live there, get my postgraduate degree. So I went there, learned the language, met a ton of supply chain people, and at the very early age of 22 or 23, came back and started up Olympus with my wife, who I actually met out there. The company represents, self-investment, self-sustainment. We've, since day one, relied on ourselves to survive. From day one, it was our formulas or our product differentiation from the rest of the market, because at that day and age, transparent formulas, clinical doses, human studies, these things were, not looked upon. But it was a C company like ours that caused other companies to also start opening up their labels and, start becoming more transparent. So we really see ourselves as trendsetters. We have to rely on ourselves in order to grow. And that message has evolved over time. Since day one, no distribution in the US, no supply chain issues, no burnt bridges. Everything's always been, ethically done correct. And we believe that if we live with that mentality, we'll be reciprocated from either our partners or our consumer base. Olympus Labs, what they excel in is formulations. and innovation, right? Like if you take any one of our formulas, you probably can't find one that is better than our products. But that's because we operate at a more cost of good heavy model than other brands, and we also invest a lot into innovation and R&D. So we're able to do things at a smaller company level that impacts the industry at a whole. And not only that, I mean, ask any one of our top competitors, they'll be like, Olympus Labs, best formulations in the industry. Another thing that we're dialed into is evolving as a brand through branding identity. I want to ink my personality, be disruptive into our branding. I want to take things that work in other industries, like fashion and cosmetics, and put them into our industry, because our industry is very primitive. If you want to scale a business, you have to look at industries that are outside of supplement. We want our consumers to look at our products and feel something. So every product is branded to relate to the message of that product. For example, we had a BCAA product called Endure, right? So we had a picture of somebody taking cover, charging, and then killing their enemy. That's endurance, right? Like that's what you do when you work out. That's, you know, from when you're driving to the gym to when you're lifting and killing, you know, the weights and then leaving, you know, you feel satisfied. We want people to feel something beyond just taking their supplement. We don't want to just be a supplement company. We want to be something that is relatable as a brand, you know, and be a part of their lifestyle, overall lifestyle. Year one, we were catering towards bodybuilders, but then we found that, you know, we need to cater to the relatable audience of today's day and age. So over time, we've evolved our branding identity, our message, our audience. For example, our year one slogan was turning men into demigods. You know, now it's Olympus Labs, what's your story, right? Because everybody has a story. And every story has a hero, so be the hero of your story. We use that as a user-generated content campaign, because when we say that, people share their story, then we share their story, and then it becomes a social flywheel that works all around. We're not now saying that become a demigod or a demigoddess because we don't want to scare away people, but you know, we want to now be like, what's your story? Because everybody has a story. We want to make our brand more relatable and centered around the consumer, rather than around our brand. For us, in marketing, there's three things, right? Acquisition, retention, and retargeting, right? So for us, we're entering a new continent, you know, a new category. We're going there because we want to engage with the Latin American audience. We want to acquire Latin American consumers, and we want them to learn about our brand. So these are the reasons that we're interested in title sponsorships, say in different countries, because we found that the consumer mindset in different countries versus the American mindset is that it's a little bit more genuine. Like consumers that are actually going to expos in Latin America may actually have a genuine interest in learning about the brand, the products, and purchasing it and engaging with you. But what we found over the years in America is that half the emails we get, next day, all of them unsubscribe. All of them unsubscribe. We find that people come and they're like, is this sample packet free? Do I have to do anything? And if we're like, no, they'll just take 50. So we are in discussion to sponsor Indian shows and enter the Indian market. There is nothing concrete laid out yet, just because we're taking it one show at a time. But what we've noticed is that the brand may need to adapt to specific markets. So, but we're ready to dominate as a brand, as a community, whatever market there is in the world. So our approach with athletes and influencers has always been everybody can be an influencer, right? Because everybody has a story. What's your story? Everybody can be a hero. You don't have to be an IFBB pro. You don't have to be a Mr. Olympian. You can be of any other industry. So our whole model has always been, if you genuinely want to represent Olympus Labs, you can want to be a brand that's built by the people, that's built by the consumers, for the consumers. I'm passionate about supplements. I'm passionate about being the best supplement company. I've told many brand owners, I've told people before that, hey, somebody may buy C4, you know, and then they'll be like, oh, what do I buy next month? You know, maybe a salt, and then they'll come across our pre-workout, I Am Supreme, or the upcoming levels, and they'll stick with it. We have the highest retention rate. You know, we don't have consumers that hop from our brand to other brands. Those are other brands. So everybody that we lock in, and it's been organically till this day, you know, we haven't even done any Facebook ads yet. We do plan on doing it, but you know, like everybody that stays with OL, we have day one consumers. You know, people who are loyal to the brand since day one. The focus is domination. The focus is to finally get your brand to be accepted as the industry standard, as the industry norm, because we're on an uphill battle, battling all of these legacy brands every day, and we're winning. And we're winning on less money, less resources, less everything. It's just about the product, you know, and the community that we're building as a brand now. We're genuine, we're authentic. 2019 is going to be a breakout year for Olympus Labs. We're working on GNC, Vitamin Shop, we're working on bodybuilding.com, we're working on complete nutrition, we're working on being literally everywhere. Like, you can either order online or you can go to your nearest supplement store and you can find our products, because this is a breakout year for the brand. The brand is finally at a place where everybody wants to carry it. It's just about the process of now getting all the products in, finalizing the rebranding, but the brand is so in demand. We don't want to just have booths anymore. What we want to do is we want to draw our fans from the expo to, say, pop-up events or, you know, social activities and things of that nature, rather than just having a booth and not being able to talk with them anyways. Because who has time to talk to, you know, people who already know about your brand? I think the primary focus for most brands at booths and expos is acquisition. So if you're not focusing on retention, then you're missing out, and potentially we're taking your customers from you. So, you know, at the end of the day, you can't blame us, you know, for being the best option and the best brand for them.